David, up to now, the very latest, please, on Arne's slot to Liverpool.
The most important thing to say, Rebecca, is that Liverpool have reached an agreement with Feyenoord over the compensation that they will need to pay to appoint Arne Slot. When you speak to people around Feyenoord, they say that figure is around 13 to 15 million euros. When you speak to people around Liverpool, they say it's around 9 euros plus 2 million euros in add-ons. And that's because he is still under contract until 2026. He signed that deal last summer when Tottenham were interested in him, and there is no release clause in there. So they will need to finalise that agreement, put it into formal documentation, and also agree personal terms with Arne Slot, which I think will be a formality. Talks will continue over his exact title. Of course, Jurgen Klopp is manager at Liverpool. Arne Slot is head coach at Feyenoord. There's this perception that manager conveys more power traditionally, and head coach is more focus on day-to-day activity on the training ground and on the pitch. So we'll have to see, because there's no firm decision on that just yet. He will be bringing an assistant with him, also a head of performance, and then an analyst as well. They need to obtain work permits before they can start with him in the summer. Why have Liverpool gone for Arne Slot? Well, he stood out as the preferred candidate from a methodical, data-led process that was orchestrated by Michael Edwards, the CEO of football for NBC Sports Group, Richard Hughes, the incoming sporting director, and Will Spearman, the director of research. After the news that Xabi Alonso would be staying at Bayer Leverkusen, Arne Slot ticked the most criteria in Liverpool's process. His style of play, high press, energetic, possession-based, exciting. The fact that he develops young players really well. His track record around connecting with a fan base, which is crucial at Liverpool. Also, his language is near perfect English, and the aura that he carries with him has been noted in a career which, it must be said, is relatively limited, because his CV is good, but it's not as extensive as someone like Jurgen Klopp. The record of coming from the Eredivisie is not the best in the Premier League for Dutch managers. They have not done so well here. And as you said at the top, these are massive shoes to fill in, Jurgen Klopp. It's a hard act to follow, but Liverpool are adamant and convinced that despite it maybe not being the most popular appointment, it is the right one for them, and they believe Arne Slot will succeed.
Great detail, as always. Our Premier League insider, David Ornstein, joining us. Robbie Mustoe, Robbie Earle alongside me this morning. Robbie, do you think Liverpool fans should be happy with this appointment?
I do, Rebecca, and as David said there, that Liverpool have went through the process and this guy's come out top of the list and they decided to go for him. Now, it's a risk anybody trying to fill the boots of Jurgen Klopp, apart from maybe Pep Guardiola if you're going to get him from Manchester City. So you go down the characteristics of this guy: intelligent, attacking football, high press, develops youth players, strong belief in what he does, brings a wit to press rooms. You're basically saying he's a Dutch Jurgen Klopp. And that's the fit, and that's the thing that I think Liverpool have gone for. Now, I know that he's playing in the Dutch league, managing in the Dutch league, and I just think we have to be a little bit careful that, well, he's managing the Dutch league. Well, it's not a very good league, and he'll step into this league and he won't be very good. This guy's intelligent, he's smart, he's young, and he'll know this is a step up. He's also getting better players who he can work with and take on to the next level.
That's a fair point. Having said that, as David mentioned, Dutch managers in the Premier League haven't always done that great. Robbie, I'm going to read you the list of the last 9. Guus Hiddink, Frank de Boer, Ronald Koeman, Martin Jol, René Mullenstein, Louis van Gaal, Erik ten Hag, Ruud Gullit, Dick Advocaat. The Dutch manager in the Premier League doesn't have a great track record. What will make this one different, do you think?
Well, hopefully because of all the attributes that both David and Robbie have just talked about. But I think it's really interesting, and I think the reason for that is how different the Premier League is, Rebecca. I mean, first off, there's been a ton of really great Dutch coaches. The total football days of Johan Cruyff and Michels before him, really a long time ago. But the Premier League is different. The pace of the game, the speed of the game, the intensity of the game is very, very different. Sometimes, coaches with the ideals of how they're going to play, and it gets lost a little bit because the Premier League is amazingly quick. You've got the quality other coaches, Rebecca, right down the league now, some of the best in the world are practicing in the Premier League, and he's going to pit his wits against some of those great people. There's so much different to the Premier League in terms of what he's going to see week in, week out, even the schedule. I mean, Jurgen Klopp's moaned about it from forever, about how many games come thick and fast, and the expectations of the football club as well. There's a lot that's really positive. Nobody's perfect, as Robbie said, and the doubts will be, how can this guy step up and bring his idealistic way of football into this really difficult Premier League?
Not confirmed yet by the club, but Arne will be the new Liverpool manager come this summer. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.